Hello friends, I asked on Instagram if you wanted to see a tutorial for a mask and a lot of people did, so here it is. First we're going to draft the pattern. You just need a piece of paper, copy paper's fine, anything you've got is fine. You'll need a ruler as well, so fold it in half and then on the folded edge draw a line that is 16 centimeters long and mark off at the 4.5 centimeter point. From there draw an 8.5 centimeter line. At the end of the line draw a 4.5 centimeter line and then connect those two lines together. So to create the front part we're just going to connect those two lines together with a free-handed curve. So then you're going to cut that out while it's still folded, then open it out and you'll have a shape something like this. It'll be a little bit more shallow. So these are the measurements that you'll need to check. What you'll need is 4 pieces of fabric cut out that are that shape and then 2 pieces of elastic that are 18 centimeters long. If you can't get that, then you can use ribbon or you can make ties using the fabric that you've got. To put this together, you just need to put 2 of those pieces together, pin them and then sew along the edge. I've drafted this with 1 centimeter of seam allowance. I'm using my sewing machine to do this just because it's super quick. Make sure to do a back stitch at the beginning of your lines of sewing and don't forget to plug your sewing machine in, it works a lot better with power. If you are hand sewing this, then I would recommend using a running back stitch just because it's pretty fast. I'm using cute fabric for the outside of mine because I teach at preschool and I think it'll be a little bit weird for the kids to see me in mask all the time, so I thought it would be more fun to use the cute fabrics that I have. But this one I'm sewing right now, the lining is going to be made from muslin, which is cotton. In terms of fabrics, apparently like vacuum bags are the best and then cotton is pretty good. These are not like surgical grade at all, but there's been studies that show that wearing a mask is definitely better than nothing. Just make sure that you're washing them every day. So if you're going to knock some up, maybe knock up a couple. So with this second piece, I'm going to put the right sides together to make sure that the seam will be on the back side. I didn't do a great job of showing what the next step is, so I drew some pictures. Once you've sewn these pieces, then open it out. We're going to pin the elastic inside to make an elastic sandwich. This makes it super fast and easy to make them. Trust me, it might sound fiddly, but give it a go. So pin the elastic into the corners and then with the other piece, right sides together, so seams out, sandwich the elastic in the middle. I pinned all the way around. I don't usually use many pins, but I did for these, and then I sewed all the way around the edge. When I got to the corners with the elastic, I did a couple of back stitches, left my needle down, lifted the foot and turned the mask so that I had a good corner on it. But make sure when you're sewing around this to leave a good inch gap. This is so that we can turn the mask right way out once we've finished, and we're going to ladder stitch this at the end. I have tutorials on both ladder stitch and running back stitch, so I'll put those in the info cards. I saw both Angela Clayton and Bernadette Banner's videos for making masks, and I saw that Bernadette Banner was donating hers to a animal shelter, I think. So if you're in America, this might be a possibility. I don't think we're doing anything like that in Japan. So here I'm pinning this elastic into the corner. First I'm pinning it to just the one side, and then I'm putting that corner together and then taking that pin out and then repinning it on the outside. I probably should have ironed this fabric before I made the masks, but I'm kind of lazy. So just back to the drive in America. If you do have some spare fabric and some spare time, this would be an amazing thing that you could do. I know where I am in Japan, we're not on lockdown yet, but there has been some mention of it. I got an email from my new job saying that I needed to wear a mask to work tomorrow, and I haven't seen a single packet of masks. I don't know how long it's been since the whole problem started. The toilet paper and masks just completely disappeared. I did go to the post office on Monday though, and the guy next to me was posting like 5 packets of masks, so I think people are obviously hoarding for their families and then sending them to their loved ones. I get it, but like it's been said that like a homemade mask is better than nothing, so we need the frontline workers to have the disposable masks, and we can make do with homemade ones for sure. I've never watched myself sewing on a sewing machine like this before. I usually don't film it, and I'm doing spider hands again. Like when I sew, maybe I just have spider hands. Like, so bizarre. So make sure to do a back stitch at the end as well. So we left that little bit unsewn. I've left about an inch. Sorry to go from centimetres to inches, that's absolutely terrible, isn't it? So we're going to pull that right way out now. So if you're struggling, you can stick like a pencil in there. When I started making quite a few, I found if you can grab the elastic, it'll literally just go pop when it unravels. What word am I thinking? When it unthats itself. I actually kind of like the off-white muslin with the pink fabric. It's giving me mega ice cream vibes. I've been desperate for ice cream for days, and we're not even on lockdown. I should just go buy some. So anyway, I've pulled the elastic, which has pulled the corners out as well, and I'm trying to remember where that open part is, but I keep forgetting. So it's fine, you can kind of pull at the seams to figure it out. If you find that the layers are separating too much and kind of getting in your face, you can put a couple of stitches in the middle. I only found this with some of them, most of them were absolutely fine. So with this one I just put a tack right in the very middle, trying to hide it as best as I could. So then we're going to iron our mask. I'm doing it with hair straighteners, just to get the edges crisp and to make it easier to do that ladder stitch we're going to do in a minute. I think both Bernadette and Angela did the kind of square masks with the tucks. Personally, I find these comfortable to wear, and seeing as I'm not donating them anywhere, I can do this type. And they're so fast to make as well. So here's that opening again, and I'm just going to do a quick ladder stitch to close it. If you don't feel comfortable doing a ladder stitch, you could use just a matching thread and do either a blind stitch or just a running stitch if you want to. It's a mask. It doesn't matter if it's pretty, really, does it? We're doing this to stay healthy. So this I made for the pattern is made for my face, so I assume I'm quite normal. Like, I generally fit normal proportions of masks that I buy in the shop. If you're making it for a really big guy, then you might want to add a centimetre around all the edges. If you're making it for a tiny little kid, you might want to take off a centimetre all around the edges. So I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you're doing to stay healthy and pass the time, and make sure you're staying in contact with your loved ones and checking in on anybody that you can from people that are pretty especially isolated in this time. I heard some quite sad statistics that domestic abuse is really on the increase, so if you know somebody in that kind of situation, maybe try and reach out. Make sure to keep in contact with everyone. Thanks as always for coming and watching, and I really hope you're all okay, and it's a weird time to be living through. So I'll see you again soon, and thanks. Bye bye.